Okay, so in the last video, we talked about Congress, specifically the House of Representatives and the Senate, and some of the similarities and differences between the two. So now we're going to go a little bit more in depth, starting with leadership in each chamber. So let's talk about the organization of Congress. So a new Congress is seated every 2 years. So remember, representatives in the House of Representatives are up for re-election every 2 years, and 1/3 of the Senate is up for re-election every 2 years. It begins on January 3rd of odd-numbered years. So in January of 2021, we will have a new Congress, and it's divided into two one-year sessions. So Congress is in session for 1 year, and then they are in session for another year. All right, so two one-year sessions. Now, the organization of Congress is very dependent on political parties and who the leaders are. So the majority party in each chamber is the party with the most members. So as of now, fall 2020, the majority party in the House of Representatives is the Democratic Party. The majority party in the Senate is the Republican Party. The minority party in each chamber has the second highest number of members. So if the majority party in the House is the Democratic Party, the minority party is going to be the Republican Party. And the same goes for the Senate. If the majority is Republican, that means that the minority is Democrats. So each party, majority party, minority party, is going to control important leadership positions and organize congressional behavior. So let's look at some of those leadership positions. So the biggest role, the biggest leadership position in the House of Representatives is the Speaker of the House. And it's currently held by Nancy Pelosi, who is a Democrat. So that is why you see her on the news a lot. This is the only position described in the Constitution, so make sure that you know that this position is the only one described in the Constitution. And the Speaker of the House wields a considerable amount of power. So as Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi presides over the House of Representatives. She's the official spokesperson, again, why you see her on the news so much. Some of her responsibilities include assigning bills to committee, controlling floor debate, setting the agenda. She controls the calendar. Assigning bills to committees. Again, obviously, the Speaker of the House is usually going to be a member of the majority party, and the Speaker of the House is second in the line of succession. So if something were to happen to the president, the vice president takes over. If something happens to the vice president, then the Speaker of the House takes over. So second in line of succession. So other leadership within the House of Representatives. Next in line would be the House Majority Leader. And again, this is the elected leader of the party holding the most seats in the House. They're the assistant to the Speaker of the House. So they are going to manage the legislative process and coordinate the party strategy to get bills that are important to the party passed. They're going to help plan the party's legislative programs. Then you're going to have the majority and minority whip. This is chosen by party members to ensure party unity and discipline. So they're going to count votes, inform members on voting, summarize bills. They're going to try to influence members of their party to vote with party leadership. And no vote is actually going to be held before the whip informs party leadership of how that vote is probably going to go. And then the last one is the House Minority Leader. And this is the elected leader of the party holding the second highest number of seats. So they work to coordinate minority activity and opposition to the majority. All right, so now let's look at party leadership in the Senate. And this is Mitch McConnell, and he is the Senate Majority Leader, and we'll talk a little bit more about him in just a minute. But the Vice President is the official leader of the Senate, officially. However, this is largely a ceremonial role. The vice president doesn't do much in terms of his position within the Senate. The only thing the vice president will really do with the Senate is if there's ever a tie. So if they're split 50-50 in a vote, the vice president breaks the tie. The next leadership position is the president pro tempore. And this is a senior senator who presides, that's what pro tempore means, for the time, presides when the vice president is not present. And this, again, is also a largely ceremonial role, generally goes to the longest serving member of the majority party. It's mostly junior senators who are going to oversee the day-to-day proceedings. So vice president is the official leader. usually not there, only breaks the tie. Then you have the president pro tempore, who again is largely a ceremonial position. So the real leader, the person who wields the most power and gets the most stuff done, is the Senate Majority Leader. So this is the head of the party with the most seats, again, has the most power in the Senate. It's the official spokesperson. The Senate Majority Leader schedules legislation and coordinates the majority party's strategy. And the big part of the power of this position is being able to shape that legislative agenda. So this is just another look at congressional leadership and how it's broken down in each party, who has the most power and on down. So you can see how it's broken down in the House of Representatives and how it's broken down in the Senate. And that is where we're going to stop with this lesson.